Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Blueford branch of the Kansas City Public Library. April is National Poetry Month. For the month of April 2025, I am reading from the River Anthology by Edgar Lee Masters. This is a collection of poems. Each poem, or almost every poem, is named after a particular individual whose tombstone on the hill, the cemetery, we are supposed to imagine we are standing before, we see the name, and that the ghost from that grave speaks something of their life or their yearnings or something, how they died, the irony of life. So that's sort of the setup for the poem. I'm reading 3 or 4 poems each time, so that there's enough of a selection. There are over 200 poems, so we will definitely not get to all of them in April. Today we're looking at Doc Hill, Andy the Night Watch, and Sara Brown. So, Doc Hill. I went up and down the streets here and there by day and night, through all hours of the night, caring for the poor who were sick. You know why? My wife hated me. My son went to the dogs, and I turned to the people and poured out my love to them. Sweet it was to see the crowds about the lawns on the day of my funeral, and hear them murmur their love and sorrow. But oh, dear God, my soul trembled, scarcely able to hold to the railing of the new life, when I saw M. Stanton behind the oak tree at the grave, hiding herself and her grief. So, this is the town doctor, talks about going to do house calls, tending to the poor, and largely to show them love and to receive love back, which he was not getting at home. And there appears to be a woman, Emma Stanton, who was especially dear to him. She, of course, is in the crowd, but in the back, hiding her grief because I'm guessing their liaison was secret. Andy the Night Watch. In my Spanish cloak, and old slouch hat, and overshoes of felt, and Tyke, my faithful dog, and my knotted hickory cane, I slipped about with a bull's-eye lantern from door to door on the square. As the midnight stars wheeled round, and the bell in the steeple murmured from the blowing of the wind, and the weary steps of old Doc Hill sounded like one who walks in sleep, and a far-off rooster crew. And now another is watching Spoon River, as others watched before me. And here we lie, Doc Hill and I, where none breaks through and steals, and no eye needs to guard. So here, the sort of the town watch is reflecting sort of on his life, what he did. He would often hear Doc Hill walking down the street on call when he was doing his night rounds. Now, of course, they are buried next to one another. Sara Brown. Morris, weep not. I am not here under this pine tree. The balmy air of spring whispers through the sweet grass. The stars sparkle, the whippoorwill calls, but thou grievest, while my soul lies rapturous in the blessed nirvana of eternal light. Go to the good heart that is my husband, who broods upon what he calls our guilty love. Tell him that my love for you, no less than my love for him, brought out my destiny, that through the flesh I won spirit, and through spirit peace. There is no marriage in heaven, but there is love. And so here we've got someone who apparently was having an affair with this guy Morris, but now that she's dead, she's in heaven, or the equivalent of heaven. She wishes that, in fact, her lover and husband can be reconciled with one another.